Hello. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Hello.
Good
hello.
morning slash evening for our guest today.
Oh man. I'm ready
I
to
know.
fall asleep right now.
Good morning, everybody. Soren, Zambu, Wave, Jay, how you doing? Sebastian, how you doing? Cyan, how you doing? Match, how you doing? Diamond, how you doing? Muhammad, how you doing? Giki, how you doing? Bessa, how you doing? Sweet Red Peppers, how you doing? We have Mr. Hamaji Neo on Keebcast today with our beautiful friends Chase.gg and Spoos Cables as per the norm. Spoos with the beautiful background. By the way, can we just take 1 second to appreciate Hamaji's amazing setup? Can we just take a second to appreciate that?
Stop.
Can we take a second, guys?
So bad.
All right, so
Yeah.
Hamaji, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Start off the stream.
Oh man, I should have written this out. Hi, my name is Maji Neo. I am a custom keyboard content creator mainly on YouTube. I am 19 years old. I live in Southeast Asia, and yeah, I'm still learning a lot about the whole scene and who's who and what's going on. Really, I think I just half-assed my way to where I am. I don't think I even know like anything about keyboards in the grand scheme of things. So yeah.
I mean
me.
that's the fun part though, is we all start somewhere. You've made some pretty damn incredible YouTube videos so far that it's definitely garnered some viewership there.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know Hamaji, he had a pretty early YouTube career of making video game content, specifically some Team Fortress 2 stuff that went he's kind of like, he looks like he regrets some of it in a way, but I'm sure he doesn't regret where it's brought him at this point, because his videos did really well. His early videos did really well, and kind of, I'd say, kind of put you at a spot where now you've been able to transition to, obviously your interests have changed since then.
Yeah.
And you've been able to transition your channel over to something else that you're interested in, which is, I think, a pretty cool. I don't know many people that successfully are able to transition their YouTube channel from something like playing a specific game to then like messing with keyboards as your content. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, even going like game to game is a big deal, but like shifting industries, like like hard right turn, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it was probably like a year build up. Like if you're in the TF2 community, like there's always this notion that like when you're a TF2ber, that's what we call them. Like once you set foot in there, like you can't get out because they're so desperate for content. And like any YouTuber is like, oh my god, yes, I'll save you. Oh, content. And as soon as you say it, yeah, I'm kind of bored of TF2, they just go ape shit. Like they'll put out their pitchforks and everything, and it just goes crazy.
Which is crazy, because from my perspective, I did play Team Fortress, and I truthfully, like before Reagan had mentioned you and like seeing, like even scrolling past your custom keyboard content, I was like, you know what? I didn't realize there was still such a demand for Team Fortress content. And to me, it's like, I guess I'm in that mindset of like, oh, on to the next game, on to the next game, on to the next game, where you don't realize that like people, like I still to this day, like, you know, there is people who play retro games and stuff like that too. So I have to always keep that in mind. So it's crazy that people still, I guess, fiend. Would that be a good word? Fiend for that kind of content to the point where they put their pitchforks out? Yeah,
that's a really good word to use. Yeah, it's intense. Like I don't know if you heard of RT Game. Like I mean, not in a way to say I'm above him, but like at the time I was double his sub count, and so when he tried to step out of TF2, like his views plummeted, but then he just kept going, and now he's at like 2 million plus subscribers. Like
yeah.
Version, yeah. But yeah, it was intense.
Man, when you're the driver of your own content, you can put out whatever you want, and if people don't want to see it, they don't have to watch.
Yeah, exactly. But it's
So,
hard.
I guess that begs the question is, at one point did you, I guess, pick up keyboards? What was your introduction into this keyboard community? What kind of led you there? Because again, from going gaming, you know, it's not a far stretch to be like, oh, there's a keyboard on your desk, I want a nicer keyboard. But what caused that, I guess, fascination with custom keyboards, and what made you want to get into that kind of content?
Man, I think the first ever proper custom keyboard video I watched was the Holy Pandas Fiel Lude by Teha.
That's a common one. Yeah, that's a very
yeah,
common one.
like I just saw it and it was so aesthetic. And I was like, oh my god, this looks absolutely dope. I just clicked it and I even had my volume on at the time, so I was gonna like skip past it. I was like, all right, this is just a stupid keyboard. And I listened to the sound and I had to double check my headphones and everything. It was like bizarre. Like I was really just in a trance. I was like, what the hell is this sound? And I kept playing. I was like, no, this is not how I go down. I checked. I watched like 20 of his sound tests. I was like, fuck. I went to drop. I got Holy Pandas. And then yeah, so I started just like amateur builds on like a what was the first one? It was like a Banggood board, and then yeah,
you just started going from there.
Yeah, that was still when I was in TF2, so that was like an adventure step out. And then yeah, I just tried another keyboard video a few months later. It blew up, and then I was like, all right, this is it. I'm taking it. Let's go.
But you've been really enjoying the keyboards too, because it's kind of hard to like obviously make content that you don't enjoy, obviously. So it's just really fun. Like I remember I was telling you earlier before we started the stream here that we sat down, me and Kayliddy, and we watched one like the Glarsis video with you in it doing that little spot feature in his video there, which was really fun. And then I sat down and watched some of your original stuff too, as well as most of your keyboard content last night too. So that was really fun. It's just you can see like you can see the enjoyment there, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's so fun. It's such a breath of fresh air. Like it's and just watching other people go like KeyBonBon, and then I mean there's a lot of other like Glasses. He's fucking crazy. He's so cool. And watching all of these guys like develop their own style, Bad Seed Tech, is so inspirational. And I'm just taking everything, just swallowing it, and then going to sleep, and then waking up with like new ideas. It's so cool.
Yeah. That's the big thing too, right? And I think Chase can even from his background too, like we were saying earlier, moving from gaming to something like that is like that's definitely incredible too.
So is keyboards kind of like what you have your eyes set on, or are you looking to kind of move into just tech overall?
Yeah, I was gonna do tech, and I think I did like a really dumb tech review, and it didn't feel right. And then when I tried another keyboard one, I was like, oh man, something about it. When I upload that video and I get the comments, I'm like, this is, I don't know. It felt like I had a lot more to learn, and that was so fun. There's something fun about that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the community is at a really good place right now, growth wise. Like,
yeah, no, definitely.
Even from an outsider point of view, it's like, it's exponential at this point, honestly.
Yeah. Well, it's something we've been asking the last couple of weeks. You know, we've had a couple of people on who, you know, tech reviews is what they do, and we've also had a couple of people, like we had Salvin on one week, and we've been asking, since we've been having guests on, we've been asking them like things that they think that could be changed within the community. But I want to kind of ask you, from somebody who, you know, has more been doing content creation for a few years and has, you know, had some successful videos on YouTube that have kind of just taken off, like from like the content side of the community, what do you think is missing right now? What do you think needs to evolve a little bit more?
Oh man, that is a tough question.
Sorry.
Yeah, but no worries. That's a really good one though. I've been asking myself that, and I mean my parents, bless them, they try their best to understand YouTube and wrap their head around it. So yeah, they've also been asking me like, Hamaji, what do you know, they're Asian, so like they have that business mindset to like, Hamaji, fill the gap, find that crevice and fill it and be the person that So I've been brainstorming. I had like a mind map, I think. Honest to God, I wrote a mind map on like Twitch, and I wrote Alex Zota and all the streamers. Like, where is the gap? And I think so far, I think it's the personality, like a vlog-esque, like okay, let's take Reagan for example. I think the biggest gap so far is the person who manufactures the keyboards and the parts and vlogging and like getting video footage of that and talking, like, what's a good example? Like a creator, like we build keyboards and that is still very impressive as is.
Yeah.
We solder, you know, we put everything together, and I have no disrespect to that. Like it is still incredible, but I think a lot of people also want to see this aluminum being machined everything being cut, everything being put together. Like Tiny is sort of there, like with the keycaps. Yeah, but I think like the case,
the manufacturing process.
Yeah, the manufacturing.
So
like,
funny that you say that. So funny that you say that. Our first week where we did this on Twitch, I think it was our first week that we had a guest on with Salvin. So Salvin, who makes these, by the way, if you guys haven't already, to plug Salvin. I believe Reagan, these are on right now on Novel Keys, right? GMK on.
Yeah, I have the same caps. I just don't have them here. They're at the shop.
Salvin manufactures stuff. He CNCs and all that kind of good stuff. And he actually, on Instagram stories, which it's not something that you can go back and look for, obviously, from a content side of things. He actually does all the manufacturing, kind of like walkthroughs, stuff like that. So as far as I know, I want to say that's the only person that I know of that does that kind of stuff. And it's really, really entertaining to watch. But again, if you wanted to go watch that again, you unfortunately can't because they're just limited to 24-hour stories. Yeah, you just got to follow him.
So he's the reason also why I'm like going to install a camera in my laser. Just like kind of see how it's going.
But to your point, I do think that there's definitely a space. Like if Salvin were just to save all those stories and start uploading them somewhere. I mean, obviously there's probably things in there that he doesn't want. I mean, he probably does that on purpose so that they are gone after 24 hours, because then he can say whatever he wants and everything. But like, I do think there is like definitely room for that within the community. I do think a lot, like Salvin's stories are they attest to that theory of like that this is what people want, because I'd say he has a large following, one for his work, but also because of his documentation of his work. A lot of people talk about Salvin's Instagram stories specifically as being the reason they follow him, because they're so intrigued with what he's doing.
And I know from like a Twitch side of things too, we have Keycult and Salvin who both do some CNCing live. Not quite the same as, you know, I guess quick digestible content, because Twitch streams sometimes can last, you know, up to 4 or 5 hours, depending on what you're doing. But that definitely is a direction, and you hit the nail on the head with that. I think people do I know I personally love watching people manufacture things, and that's why Tiny saw so much success on TikTok, right?
Yeah,
I think she's at what, 2 million plus followers on TikTok.
Maybe like 3 by now. Yeah,
has to be. And
oh my god,
I guess it's just seeing creation, and I think that's the joy of, you know, you being as a content creator yourself. The joy of taking something and then molding it into something else, you know, whether it be entertainment, a product, anything like that. And I think that's one of the biggest joys about assembling keyboards. So, for example, a great, I guess, snippet of this is I handed off a keycap set to my girlfriend last night. And we were talking on the phone, like after we left each other and whatnot, where she was assembling the keyboard, and she said it was so therapeutic just switching keycaps. Right? And it's just like, and it's like, yeah, and it's like you can now, like, I'm like, yeah, you kind of understand like what the joy of assembling these things are. She literally referred to it as like building Lego, and
yes, that's a really good
analogy. And just like how fun it was to kind of customize something of your own. And I guess that's the joy that I think a lot of people have with keyboards.
It's super therapeutic. That's a good word for it.
Yeah. I think to an extent though, like when you first do it, it's like, oh yeah, keycaps. Then it's the 4th time doing it, you're like, oh my god, dude, can you just get off? It drives me insane sometimes.
Imagine being out. I've seen plenty of times where Alex will be streaming a keyboard build, and he'll be like, what keycaps do we put on this, guys? And they go and they say and the chat all agrees on the keycap set. Alex goes, but then I have to pull it off of this keyboard. He has to take them all off, put them on another keyboard.
And that's actually funny that you guys said it too. And okay, chat, I have a question for you. What's the most therapeutic thing about keyboards for you guys? Mention in chat. We'll read some off too. But for me, I like the finished product. Sometimes I don't like. For example, the MT3 Serica is so nice on the all black Koyu. Like when people say like, oh, put MT3 Serica on, I'm like, dude, it looks so nice already. Why would I want to take it apart? So that's my mindset with things anyways.
I think with keyboards too, there's a lot of things in building a keyboard that is repetitive, which then can be like in the right setting can be pretty therapeutic. Because I mean, like you've got lubing switches, you've got soldering in your switches, you've got, I mean, obviously putting on keycaps doesn't take long, but I mean, it's repetitive enough to where it's kind of, I don't know. And then typing itself is a pretty repetitive. There's just a lot of, I don't know, to say repetitively. There's a lot of repetitive things
Well, I think look if you look at chat too, first typing test is a big one. Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. That's like super. And Hamaji, I know I've seen your stuff too, and it's exciting. It's exciting to actually be like, ooh, okay, I did a good job. Lubing switches for me is still therapeutic. I don't know, Hamaji, do you lube all of your switches? Do you get someone to do them?
Man, I've yet to find a lubing slave. I wish I could find one. So far, yeah, it's all me. I just go there, hook up some music, and I mean, yeah, YouTube video. Sometimes you go insane. I don't know. Do you guys go insane? Like, there's a limit to how
I
much
like
you
it.
can...
I lube a bunch of switches.
Jeez.
I've actually taken it off of me doing it live on Twitch because I get so distracted by chat.
But yeah, so your streams go 3 times as long because you're taking 2 hours to lube switches.
Dude, when I first started, and I did, like, I think Minterly would always tease me and be like, you did 15 switches in 3 hours. Like, but like some people are saying soldering. Soldering is definitely a big one. Put some music on and lube. It's so peaceful. Yes, I totally agree with that. Buying keyboards is the best therapy. Hold on, Jay. Guys.
Oh my god, buying keycaps, man, that gives me anxiety.
That's a lot of money. The finished product, yeah, I agree.
Oh God, I've joined like 4 group buys in the last 3 days. It was like Noir. I got the DMG round 2.
Redline?
I haven't got Redline yet.
Ooh.
What's the other one? Honor. I did Honor yesterday, and I'm like, damn, dude, stop. Someone stop.
Oh, good.
No, there's a lot of stuff running right now. There's also Fundamentals running right now, right, Reagan?
Same.
There is Fundamentals running through December 4th. $120 base kit, Accents separate kit. Good stuff, man. Yeah, check it out.
Receiving keycaps after a long wait is also therapeutic. NVI, I totally agree with that. Which begs the question, Hamaji.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to zoom into this one here. What do you have in your group IQ? What do you have?
My group IQ. I just copped GMK Redline this evening, actually.
Okay.
Got like
you spent
6.
some money
I'm
today.
not. Yeah, no, I'm usually a minimalist. That's the thing. Like, I grew up a minimalist. Like, I'm never the type to like, oh, I want this, I want that. I'm okay with not having too much. But after joining the keyboard community, man, all that just went out the goddamn window. Redline, Modern Dolch Rev 2, a U80A Sequence 2, SAT 75. Oh, sorry, my memory.
So you picked up a SAT 75?
Yeah, I was because I'm in Asia, so Ilum KB and bless Canon Keys hearts, but like Ilum KB was like a lot calmer, like the Asian.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
Line up nicely. All right, hand up. Yep, me. It's really chill. Everyone's like, good job. I mean, some depth. But like Canon Keys, like I was on the Discord server after I got SAT 75. Like, where is it? Everyone's freaking out. I'm like, oh my god, what happened? We're delaying it the next day. I'm like, okay, that's understandable on their side. But I saw everyone chatting, like, oh my god, we hate you. I'm like, oh my god, holy crap! I was so scared. I have the list of things I bought. Let me go find it for you.
You know what? I was keeping tabs on my list. I don't know about you guys in chat and even you in Space and Chase here. I literally can't keep tabs anymore. I just like everything goes like there's too much stuff that goes in and out. I'm just like, okay, whatever comes in that day, I guess.
Do you still have a running Google Doc that has, or like a spreadsheet that has all your
do.
stuff?
I'm moving it to, so I am moving a lot of that stuff to like a Patreon now, which is kind of easier for me to, I guess, keep accountability on my part because now I owe it to people to have a list. But it's still tough. And thank you guys for all the subs and bits tonight. I appreciate you guys.
Were you able to find that list of all of the stuff you have coming in, Maji?
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. Honestly, not much. Like, I'm kind of embarrassed.
No, it's not embarrassing at all.
I went for a GMK rainy day. A GMK bento, but I didn't go for like I
got bento too, yeah.
All of you that like it, but for me personally, it's like a lot going on. So I just got the space bars and the desk pads. And it's just so fun for that, yeah. So that's about it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some nice stuff out right now. Like Honor is probably another one. There's the JTK set. What was that called again? Sakura?
Night Sakura, right?
Yeah.
Night Sakura.
That looks really nice. Like I actually am really like I've never ordered a JTK set before.
Dude, JTK is nice. I gotta say, like, JTK was the first keycap set I bought, Raindrop, and it's pretty nice. Like, I'm probably gonna join that one as well.
It looks pretty. It looks pretty. Like, I'm actually very much considering it. I love the colors of it. It's very, very nice.
I like the soft gray.
I've seen that, but I haven't really looked into it too much. Is the Key.Dot company hosting it?
TKC is the US proxy, yeah.
I think
the only thing I'm kind of iffy.
Canada?
Yeah, the only thing I'm iffy about is I think it's like orangish, reddish on the pink colored mods.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I'm like, not the hugest fan on. I probably wouldn't use those, but every other aspect of it, I dig the color contrast.
What would you have done if you were given like this design? What color would you have put on there?
Let me pull up the set one more time and I will tell you.
I don't mind the current color, to be honest.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
My only thing's like the reddish on pink, yeah.
So I don't know. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I would put dark gray.
I would dark gray, dark like charcoal black kind of.
I at least want to see that. All right, I'm not saying I'd like indefinitely put it on there, but I want to like see a render of that.
So I was gonna say I don't really know too much about JTK's keycaps. Are they ABS or are they PBT?
I didn't look too much into it, to be honest. I don't know the specs. I've never ordered a set of JTK.
Oh, there it is right there. Double and triple shot ABS plastic. Okay.
There you go. And we have someone in chat asking, are we getting a Vega? I mean, guys, with all these keyboards, I'd love to get them all, but there's two things. A, winning the raffles for a lot of these things, or, getting into it. And then B, if your wallet allows it. So there's always those two aspects, guys, that with keyboards. So as much as I'd love, and I'm sure like everyone would love them, it's tough sometimes. So that's gonna bleed into another question I have. What is your thoughts? So coming from someone who's doing gaming and stuff like that, where if you want it like a gaming product, you can go to like your local store and most likely pick it up or order it off of any website really, and it comes within, I guess, I don't know speeds of delivery where you are, but maybe a week, less than a week. How is your transition into group buys, where in some cases it's 9 to 12 months? Like, what are your thoughts on that coming into the hobby? Because again, to backtrack one question as well, how long have you been into the hobby now? Would you roughly say?
Not enough for one group buy yet?
Exactly. 5 months, I think.
5 months?
Probably so, like 5.
So you're about to get your first group buy item.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on it then?
Okay, well, I speak on behalf of all the Gen Z kids because I'm part of that age group. Not proud, kind of. We're really used to instant gratification. That's just kind of what we grew up with. So, like, honestly, I feel really bad for saying this. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm still not used to group buys. Like, I'm really used to but like from a vendor side and logistically, like 100% understandable. So I don't talk much about it, but like, of course I would prefer in stock. I buy it, I spend money, buy rights, I should get it whenever I want, like that kind of mindset. But realistically, we can't do that. And I've spoken to some other vendors as to why, just get a bit of understanding. So yeah, it's frustrating, but like, when you think about it, it's fine. But for an outsider, I can also understand, like, yeah, it's really frustrating.
And I think it's such a good question to ask, and I think it's very interesting to see, no matter what age group, no matter how long you've been in a hobby, everyone's answer for that. It's just really interesting to see people's perspectives on it, and I guess not for the community or anything to receive criticisms, but there's so many hobbies that actually have this like pre-ordering / you wait 12 months to get a product, and I think that's becoming more and more common with more and more people wanting to kind of release their own product but might not have the capital to pre-buy.
It's crowdfunding essentially.
It
helps small businesses or single owner businesses get stuff out to a community without a bunch of upfront capital, so it's really safe. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah. With that being said, we are seeing changes in the community, and I know we briefly touched upon this before stream as well, which is we're seeing things like Glorious make a lot of in-stock stuff. with that being said, the GMMK Pro. And I know you said you took a look at that. So what are your thoughts on that? Just from, I guess, first impressions. Obviously, none of us, for reference chat, none of us have the keyboard. We don't know anything about it. Like, I don't know what it feels like. I don't know what it sounds like. But what are your thoughts on it?
I actually live in the factory, so I know.
Oh, did you?
How it's made. God, that'll be so. Anyways, yeah, I mean, because I just got the SAT 75 and I saw it a few days after, so I was like, is this a parody? I really thought it was a parody. I thought like this is a joke, isn't it? Like they're just taking a piss, and I was like, oh, this is real. And then, I mean, it looks great, honestly. Like aesthetically, it looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
From a visual standpoint, like I can see their breakdown of the materials used, and some parts are a little bit confusing, mainly because I've never properly worked with the gasket mount before. So some of the parts that they're showing, like I don't understand how it sort of ties in together. So I can't really say much in terms of like sound. I can't predict anything. It's gonna be a wild run.
Well, that's the thing too. Like you can implement gaskets, but if you don't add enough tolerance for the gasket to actually do its job, then it's no different from just compressing it between two pieces of metal. So if there's too much compression with a gasket, you're not gonna get what the gasket's intended for, if that makes sense. Like there has to be enough pressure, like just enough so it can do its thing. Otherwise, it's again no different from just sandwiching it between two pieces of aluminum. So we'll see. Like what we're gonna see with a lot of things.
Compression ratio matters.
Yeah,
it really does.
I think the GMMK Pro really kind of hits the nail on the head as far as like what people like wanting to enter the community and people within the community have been asking for, as far as just like they hit like every talking point that like has been in like what people want out of a keyboard, right? Like even like throwing in something like gasket mount is something that is like just kind of like, I don't know, a topic that people that you see it used more and more now. Like hot swap, first of all, CNC'd, aluminum body, like all this stuff too. Like I don't know, it seems like, again, Glorious is just kind of go at like seeing what what people want and then just giving it to them, which is what they continually do.
Well, they did that with the Model O
staff
too,
members,
right?
like yeah, they have some staff members on Mech Market for sure. Some analysts there.
Mm-hmm.
Some PowerPoint presentations set up.
This is only like a couple months after they released their Panda switches, right? Like so, I mean, like it's not too surprising that they have a tap on what the community is looking for.
Yeah.
And so I think it's really cool. I was really excited to see that it was a 5-pin hot swap, because their previous their GMK models have been 3, so you've had to clip the feed off of your switches, which I wasn't a fan of doing for some of my switches. So I don't know. And somebody said Hamaji just said in chat that knob though. And I saw somebody earlier said Gnarls said GMMK makes getting nulled on the SAT 75 less painful, and I'm sure a lot of people felt that way.
Oh, that's true. That's really true. I didn't think about it from that perspective.
It was I don't know if it was intended timing just after the SAT 75.
Perfect timing though.
Like, I don't know if it was intended,
like,
but
did you miss that shit?
Did you miss that shit?
Use code SAT75 for 10% off.
Oh my god, that would be incredible.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I have no idea. Like I don't work in their marketing department, but you know, it's for me too. Like I didn't get into the SAT 75 round 2, and I had built a SAT 75 for a client, and I liked the keyboard, and I was like, man, I kind of wanted one. So I entered, didn't get it. I got nulled as well. But when I saw that, I was like, okay. I mean, like, you don't got the OLED display, but it still looks pretty cool. But for me too, like, I'm still very excited for it, because again, I'm huge on, how can I word this? Entry-level stuff, because I do strongly believe that not everyone in the world has $800 to drop on a custom keyboard. And there is people who would like to get into this who might really like the design of one of those things. And obviously there's some compromise. There's, you know, if we're looking at and directly comparing it to the SAT 75, there's some differences, some big differences, like OLED display and stuff like that. But it's super nice to see that a company can take something that I think someone in chat said buzzwords. Yeah, here Glorious just said it. Buzzwords the keyboard, and get something that community has been like, okay, we really want to see this, but at I guess not a more affordable, but an entry level price.
Yeah.
And they do it. So we're gonna see. Like we'll see if it sucks. We'll see if it's great. But
Just fall.
yeah, like I think it's really cool, and I think entry level stuff into the community has always been like a huge talking point of Keepcast. I know Chase is really big into budget stuff, entry level stuff too.
That's a huge market.
Yeah, like Reagan's gonna be releasing his acrylic board too soon.
Well, and if you also think about it, the more glorious with their Model O specifically, and then the Model D, and now the Model O wireless tapped into the gaming scene, the like consumer level, like broad consumer level gaming scene, and there are a lot of people now that follow Glorious looking for their product releases, specifically looking for new mice and things. This keyboard might very well transition a lot of people into the more custom side of keyboard things just because it's from Glorious.
That's
true. Yeah, that's true. They captured a humongous audience by their really popular mice, and now I don't know, the fact they're making a hot swap board is casting such a larger net than like a solder only board. You know, the fact that
when they sell their own switches as well, because
people are gonna get that feeling of like, I built a keyboard to customize it, because you know they're putting in like the hot swap switches, and they can. I mean, maybe they'll put it on a GMK set or put on whatever else, but I think they're really trying to capture that entry market, which it's a good idea on their end.
Yeah. So I said this keyboard is the gateway drug.
I think it will be.
Yeah.
And with that being said, Hamaji, another question for you.
Yes, go ahead.
So you've been doing this for about 5 months in keyboards. Like you've been into the hobby for about 5 months. So you're still relatively new yourself. I mean, I think us three are just hitting / just passing our 1 year mark. What is some advice that you have for people getting into the hobby? What things have you done that you're like, hey, maybe I shouldn't have done this? Really just giving advice to new people who are thinking maybe, I want to build a custom keyboard.
Oh man, don't use default OEM stabs. They are utter trash. Like, don't, even if KVD fans comment section, which is already bad, says it's pretty all right, that means it's bad. It's bad. Soldering, I don't even, man, I'm so like I have no proper, don't overlube your switch. That's another thing.
Yep.
Oh, I did that the other day, man.
And yeah, like in case something breaks or fails, get a punching bag. I don't know, I have my bed. Like I don't fail that often, but when it fails, it's like a like a real like cut in the chest.
Cut steep.
Yeah,
cut steep.
So just get something to like bring your stress on. Keep other humans outside of the facility when working on things. Get a fan when soldering because you don't want asthma. And get a desoldering gun ASAP because that will save your life. Please.
Yes, honestly,
please.
Before I picked one up, I was using the little suction pumps. I remember trying to do a whole keyboard with that.
Like it literally doesn't suck, but they suck.
And then people were like, "Oh, just pick up the wick." And I'm like, "Hey," so I tried that, and then that I did off stream. I'm like, "This still sucks." And then I just broke down. I was like, "Hey, you know what? I'm just gonna open up my wallet, cringe a little bit, and pay for a desoldering gun." So
yeah,
suction pump ASMR.
Yeah, that's basically my thoughts on that too. So I totally agree there. But there's definitely some. The next thing I think Glorious is going to be doing, truthfully, I don't know. I have a feeling. I think after this, because right now the next gap for keyboards, I guess, would be better lead times for keycaps. I wouldn't put it past them if they started doing their own keycap sets, like community oriented
like
keycaps,
clones and stuff. Because
obviously no clones, no ripping off people's sets, no ripping off other artists. But if they start reaching out and be like, hey, we're offering, I'm making something up, like Glorious keycaps, so GK, I don't know, C or something, I don't know, and they're making their own keycaps and stuff like that. I think that'd be very interesting.
I'm sure if they were going to, they would also immediately release like double shot, white on black and black on white to go. That's what they always release. They always release two colorways every everything. So if they were going to do that, did you see that with the GMMK Pro, they actually said they were also releasing their own stabilizers now?
So with stabilizers, I took a closer look at them, and they're very reminiscent of like the Everglide / Durock stuff. I think what they're really differentiating themselves on is it's going to be coming pre-lubed with what their G-Lube.
Yep.
Which is supposed to be, from what I understand, like in between 3204 and 205G0.
That's what I've seen as well, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I think the one thing I can actually pride myself on is I do a pretty damn good job with stabilizers. So when I do get to ever check that out, I'll let you guys know. Providing a fast response time, which is good for gaming. Linears don't have tactile bump. Oh, for that, yeah. Goat stabilizers, Glowlivia. Glorious Olivia, yeah.
Oh, that'd be Modern Dolt.
Glorious Modern Dolt. Yeah, I don't know. I hope no one rips off anybody. I hope that's not another piece of controversy.
Nah, the guy that they have that's like in the mechanical keyboard community is gonna be like, look, you can't do that, bro.
Yeah.
I already gave you the Stat 75. I'm gonna tell you right now, don't.
We already tried to make the Glorious Holy Pandas and had to change them to the Glorious Pandas. We're not making that mistake again. That didn't go over well.
What if Glorious pays artists for clones? I mean, so that wouldn't be... I don't think that would be considered a... I mean, I guess it would be physically, yes, it'd be another product, but it would still be the right way to do it. It's not like GMK owns the rights.
Yeah, it's like Novel Keys having the PBT Vaporwave set, similar to the GMK Vaporwave
so
set.
If they were to reach out to an art... Like, if they reach out to Apiary and said, hey, like, 2 years from now, and said, hey, we want to do our own thing of Noir. I think, yeah, the deciding factor would be if Apiary wants to sign off on that, or whatever artist wants to sign off on that, right? So that would be... I think that would be the thing with that, but that's definitely a good point. Always get permission from artists and stuff too.
There's a Cat Mizu clone. Man, there's clones of every single set.
Yeah.
It's mad. Like, I remember speaking to Tiny on a Discord call about like clones and stuff. Like, I was still like, I know there's no technical law on like copying, and I mean that's just been copyright in general. But like, I had no idea how much backstory there was to keyboards and artists and designs. And I was just digesting, and she was telling me everything. I was like, oh my god, people have been ripping each other off, and maybe not, but some people think they were. It's so complex. It's insane.
There's a lot. Like, there's even a whole market for like, I think I just saw one for Nautilus on AliExpress or something from a company.
Don't support clones.
Yeah. The big thing that I think people not fail to realize, but maybe it just isn't processed, or it's not something that we think about on a daily artist, is the artist or daily art. Did I say daily artist? Daily thing there, but the artist is the one hurting the most from that, truthfully.
Yeah.
Like, it's when you really break it down, like, I think me personally, I think the artists would be definitely the one hurt by that, because there'll always be something a vendor can run, for the most part anyways, and the vendor usually runs it first and does a group buy. But down the road, like, if you ever want to do a round 2, yes, it will hurt the vendor, but now that artist can't get it into those people's hands. There is also that thought process in which I was talking about too with some other like really large vendors for different companies and stuff like that regarding ripping off people, is a lot of the times that with these people who buy clones and stuff, and again, super touchy subject, I'm happy we're talking about it and obviously having healthy discussion about it. There is that flip side of the coin to play devil's advocate, is will that person have ever even bought from you at base price, the non-rip off? There is that side of the things. It's like, can you even count on that person as an actual customer?
No. Well, I think another thing to even point out, just from being like, even as the person who's looking to buy keycaps, and if you're looking at clones, just a fair warning, for like totally selfish motivation, like, or not motivation, intent, like the quality of those keycaps are probably not going to be that great. Most of the clones are not that great.
If you're entertaining the idea of purchasing clones, though, that means you don't have the data of using something that is good, and therefore you won't be able to compare it and determine that for yourself, though.
Which is why I'm saying, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who hear this and think,
yeah,
I mean, cheap clones of good-looking sets, that sounds great to me. But truly, the quality of the prints and just like, I don't know, I don't know if any of you have ever used a really cheap set of keycaps that like you can like feel the legends on every keycap.
Yes.
They're like
it's bad.
It's like a sticker on there basically.
Bad. Oh man. Okay, I'm not gonna say his name, but I know a friend who just got into keyboards. He's like, oh yeah, I couldn't afford bento, so I got the cheapo bento.
He got lunch. PBT lunch.
PBT lunchbox.
Oh my god.
Literally.
Yeah, it was like it was really bad, and I was really tempted to make a video on it and say, could I borrow the keycaps? Like, I'll pay you just like to borrow it. I was really, but then if I brought attention to it, like that would have done the same damage as it would have been just like.
Yeah, because now people get the idea of like, oh, this set that I've been wanting forever that's gonna cost me $500 on Mech Market, you know, with shipping is now available on AliExpress for $50. Like people will look at that and definitely see that.
As much as you
there's
say
an affiliate link. What?
What's going on here?
As much as you say like it's bad, don't buy it. Like the very few people are gonna be like, I don't really care. I'm just gonna get it anyways.
Yeah, and you see that in the fashion industry especially. Like I think that's probably the biggest industry for rip-off. Period.
Yeah.
Like I think Yeezys, for me, is the thing that comes straight to mind when I think of rip-offs for things.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it's again, how do you combat that? I don't know if there's a good way. Obviously, there's quality difference. There's always going to be the quality difference between an official merchant and a non-official merchant. There's always going to be the fact that it's more, I guess, I don't know the right word, but you're supporting the right people with the official product versus the non-official.
I would say the way to combat it is the same way that it's combated in the fashion industry. I mean, people who buy knockoffs and people who buy clones in the fashion industry are typically like, if they're found out, they're typically called out for it. You know, it's one of those things where it's just like, we kind of like, it's like, like really you're wearing fake Supreme? Like why? Like why not just
Cringe.
like, what's the point? Like,
Dude, I got DM'd by like a Chinese vendor on Instagram the other day, and they're like, oh, we make high quality replicas, and they were like, it was like this 30-second ad video, like in a video message, and it was like the Travis Scott Air Jordan 1s, and it was like a Louis Vuitton wallet and all this like fake Supreme. And I was like, are you guys doing door-to-door marketing and Instagram DMs? Like, what are you just met? Like, I'm like, hell yeah, bro, send me some Air Jordans. Like, what? who's doing that?
Supreme, you guys are killing me with these little Superm. You guys are killing me.
Super me.
No regrets, man.
No regrets. Devil's
Man,
advocate, can you really claim ownership on a colorway? So, you can technically, if you go through the right legal processes, claim ownership on a whole bunch of things, copyright and trademark and yada yada yada. I don't know all the legal process. I was talking to someone about this the other day. You technically can, but again, I think it's more just even with the fashion thing, it's a step back too. Like, yes, you can tell your friends like, ew, you're using this fake thing, but there's gonna be, and I think we have to not come to terms with it, but we have to understand that there's gonna be a handful of people who literally don't give a shit and will just use the product anyways, regardless of where it came from, if it was humanely made, anything. And that's the other thing too.
They're going for.
Yeah, like that's the other thing too. We don't know if like counterfeit stuff is always humanely made too. They don't give a shit. They just want the hottest thing without having to spend full amounts of money. That's going to be the biggest thing, and it's so hard. Totally. That the fashion industry is $1 billion industry, but we're already seeing that, and we're not $1 billion industry. You know.
Yeah.
So
100%.
But that's how you know though the industry is getting bigger, is when there's knockoffs.
Yeah.
It's really tough. It's really, really tough. And there's no one like big thing that's overseeing everything that's happening. So there's no way to like, because it's mainly out of our hands at some point to like an extent. Like we can like make a unique colorway and a unique keycap set, but then once like a big manufacturer goes, all right, let's go, woo, pump it out. Everything's just there we go.
I mean, they can do that. They're just shitty for doing that. And anyone who's like really about the community will have the same mindset.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think the best thing at the end of the day, and I know you guys are all bringing up some amazing points too, like great points. I think it's super healthy discussion. The best thing to do for everyone who knows the artist who made X set, you know, if you want to, I'd love for you guys. I encourage it. I do encourage you guys to support the actual artists and stuff like that. You just remember there's people who spend hours designing these things and put a lot of effort into that. And I will tell you guys that, you know, me personally, having spoken to some of the designers too, it means a lot, like a crap ton, when you guys show your support for the right people. So there's also that human level aspect, which I lean more towards on. With that also being said, comes the discussion of, obviously, official stuff is going to cost a little bit more. If you guys can't afford things, what I always tell you guys, if you guys don't have 3 times that amount in your bank account, then just don't pick it up. You know, you're gonna have to come to terms with you can't afford everything. I'm the same way. I'd love for everyone to buy everything, but it's just not realistic. First of all, space. I'm running out of space too. Second of all, money.
Yo, I got space, dude. You can ship some stuff here. I don't mind. I'll store it for you.
Let me go grab some stuff.
I am space, so just ship it to me, Alex.
Oh, that's true.
No.
Oh, that's
he's
true.
good enough. I have more space.
Then there's the conversation about super limited availability. Totally. With that being said, we are a growing community. We are seeing more manufacturers do more things officially, working with artists and other people. So you'll definitely see in the future there's going to be more and more people making more things with more vendors and all that kind of stuff too. I definitely think that.
Yeah, but also exclusivity makes things a little more sought after and cool. Like, if not everyone can get a board, makes it a little bit more
totally
cool.
And I love that conversation because, and maybe Hamaji can weigh in some stuff too. In the audio world, you're gonna have your guys who buy like the 598Xs. You're gonna have the guys who buy like Sennheiser XXX. You're gonna have, you know, the guys who pick up the Bear Dynamics, the Bose headphones, like the Apple AirPods. Like, you're gonna have that crowd, and those are mass manufactured. They still cost a pretty penny, in my opinion. But there's always in every community eventually, and we see it in keyboards, you know, private group buys, very small runs of things. For example, like the 512, there's even the Haley. Very small runs of things. There's always going to be that boutique level. And there's going to be the guys who, like, my headphones are boutique level. There's things that are boutique level, and there's things that are, you know, not boutique. And you're paying a hefty price tag for boutique. And I think as we see, and we're seeing that now, in my opinion, we're seeing that transition of, man, we got like the NK65. There's that new one that came out from KBD fans. We have the Portico eventually coming out. You know, Space, you're creating something that's going to be a little bit more too. We have this new GMMK Pro. There's going to be now this, like, we have the Kara coming out on the 11th, which is, what day is it today? I don't even know. It's the 8th. So in 3 days, like, there's always going to be like that entry level thing that is going to satisfy the needs. And someone said it earlier that some people just want to have the coolest thing on their desk or something that suits their style on their desk. They have no need to post it on social media. Like, none. And I think that's totally cool. And we're going to see more and more of that. Like, I guarantee you there's people, hey chat, you're pretty cool. You're going to see those people who want to just buy those things, right? So that's kind of where I'm at too. Like, there's going to be a handful of crowd who want exclusivity, and there's going to be tons of people who just don't care. Because I guarantee you, the guys who are buying, like, some people who go to the store and buy like a wireless Sennheiser headset that might cost them $350, they're not running home to go post it on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Some people buy things because they see it's really cool and they want it for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, but this is and like, that's obviously, if somebody's going to the store and just buying a pair of headphones, like, they're buying those specifically for like utility, which I'd say a lot of this, a lot of this hobby is utility, but a lot of it is also just like having something that you think looks good.
I mean, you can say that, but you telling me you have never bought something maybe it cost like $30-$40 extra because it looked prettier, and you're not running home and showing it off. You're buying it for yourself. I have.
Yeah,
I have.
No,
I
I
don't
mean,
show it off.
Yeah, there's certain things I buy just because I want to have it on my desk and I'm not like tagging it in a post. But
Yep.
What are your guys' thoughts in chat, by the way? And also, Hamaji, what's your thoughts? I'm gonna let Chase in Space do this. I've been sipping on G Fuel, and I don't know why this stuff goes literally right through my bladder. I'll be right back. Be right back, guys. You guys enjoy the stream. Give me like 2 seconds. Keep talking. Do your thing.
All right. He's gone.
Yep. All right. Now that he's gone.
Oh man. What was the question? Crap! I got distracted by him going to the toilet. Yes, that question. Exclusivity. Sorry, I'm so tired.
Exclusivity.
Yeah. There has to be a limit. There's like, has to be a fine line between being one of the cool guys that has it and just being absolutely absurd. Like, I don't understand why you'd want, unless you're really rich, then one out of one thing. I don't know. It depends what you want in a keyboard. I use it because I want to make a video for it, and plus it satisfies me.
Mhm.
So I don't mind if it's not 1 out of 1. I just want it to be nice. So I wouldn't spend crazy amounts of money. But I can also see why.
Right. Well, that's good. Like why there's 10 to 20 to 30 options of keyboards at every single range, entry point, cost, like everything. They can appeal to those people who want like a 1 of 1 or a 1 of 10 or 20. And then there's like less mass produced. There's group buys that have limits, stuff like that. And they all have their own audience.
I also think, well, like a lot of the people that I don't know, it's kind of weird because the community is still growing at such a rapid pace. Like the voices within the community right now are typically, I mean, they're all like your social media influencers for the most part, right? Like they're pushing a lot of like what people see, and a lot of them are looking for views. They're looking for likes. So what are they going to do? They're going to post the most exclusive thing. So then that's all people are seeing. So I feel like the exclusivity thing is kind of pushed on us a little bit just by like the nature of like what an influencer is and the fact that they're looking to share, you know, things that aren't seen often. So like that kind of pushes to the front of everyone's mind of like the best keyboard is this exclusive keyboard that nobody has because that's all they're seeing on social media.
I can see that. That's why I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but like I know when Tifu's keyboard came out and that was like, oh, exclusive, you know, 1 out of 1, and also the hype, and that's awesome. That's friggin' awesome. But I began to see at least 2 or 3 more YouTube videos where it's like I built the same one for cheaper.
Yep.
And so
yeah, I saw those too.
Yeah, look, man, check this out. It's the same thing. I forgot they did
They did like the 5-degree case. They anodized it. They put the same switches in. I watched a couple videos like that.
So just for you, just for chat to understand too, it was a video they did, like what Chase said. They took a really not expensive keyboard case, not as expensive keyboard case, still pretty pricey, and they literally just anodized it themselves to have the exact same like color and splatter pattern. It was not a key cult, but
well, yeah, it was. Gucci wallet by using leather and paint too, but I mean it's just the brand behind it is what makes it that expensive and that craftsmanship. But yeah.
The funny part of that video also was the guy in factoring in the entire cost was like, oh, I just so happen to have a set of GMK Striker and I got that at retail, so I'm gonna factor that into the cost at retail cost. So it's like, okay, well, nobody's gonna be able to build this board for that cost because Striker's price went up as soon as that was...
Now I want it too. Dang it.
So I have another question. Speaking of prices going up, have you actually picked anything up off Mech Market yet?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Oh, man, I feel so bad. I mean, I'm not a big Mech Market guy. Like, I would look at the prices and go, I'm never gonna buy anything. And then I started watching Andy Nguyen.
Andy Nguyen, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Nguyen, his video, and one of them had a GMK Olivia Plus Plus. I was like, I want that. And so I went on Mech Market. I was like, 3 months ago, Singapore, where are you? Singapore. And I was like, somewhere from China, somewhere from US. I was like, US, I can't touch. I found one Singapore. I was like, $350 US. And every bone in my body was telling me, what are you doing, idiot? Don't buy this. You have way better things to spend money on. And then, I mean, moment of weakness, I got it. He was a good seller. Like, came in well packaged. I was like, thanks.
You have
man.
it?
But yeah. Oh, actually, it's on my Tofu 65. Yeah.
Nice.
But these are Carry because I don't have any.
That looks pretty.
Yeah.
That looks pretty.
Thank you.
It's a nice set.
So thank you. Yeah, so I have used Mech Market once. I just don't want to touch it again, man. It makes me sad.
I stay off it, man.
There's still a
stay
few
off.
things like there's a few things that like because again I've only been in the hobby for a little over a year. There's a few things where I'm like, man, I wish I was around to buy that, and I still want it because like for me it's a collection of things. Like it's not just it's not just content. It's I literally love seeing like a collection of these things. So there's a few like I was looking for another particular keyboard recently, and the cheapest I found it was like almost around 2K, and I'm like, okay, I can't. Like I just everything in my body's like wanting it, but I physically am like, nah, it's just not realistic. Like it's just not in the cards. If I was a millionaire, sure. But
My problem with Mech Market has been I'll get on there and then I'll get stuck scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and like looking looking at every post, and then I'll end up finding somebody who's selling switches. It's like, I can drop $30 on switches, and then all of a sudden I've got like 4 bins full of switches that I don't have anything to put them in.
But now you have to buy a board and stabs and
the worst is I don't know if you guys have ever done this. Chat, let me know. Sometimes I'll buy switches not knowing what keyword I put it in. So I'll buy like sometimes like 80 switches, I don't know, 70 switches, and then I'm left with like 15 or 20 switches, and I'm like, give me money for GMK, please. I'm left with like 15 or 20 switches, right? And I'm like, man, those are really good switches. So then I'll go out and, okay, I need to buy some more because I got 15 left of these. So I go buy some more. And then I'm like, well, now I need to buy a new keyboard. It's like a vicious, endless cycle. Yep. It never ends. So I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, they know what they're doing. That's why they put them in sets of 10. You always get left over with 6, Right?
Oh, God, it's so annoying.
And actually, that's another question too. You said the US you don't want to touch. Is it because of, I guess, import taxes?
Yeah, dude, shipping. Oh my God, dude, Reagan just sent over gift. It was labeled gift. GIFT.
It was labeled gift. It was valued at $5, and it was like I want to say
it was like $30 US.
How much?
Yeah, $30 US if you $40, $50 US of import tax for something
for a $5 item.
So light, and I was calling them. I was like, "What the hell?" And then they showed me like, "Yeah, well, if you look at the flight ticket, I'm not flying there." And it was the dumbest conversation I've ever had with like shipping. I think it was DHL. Wasn't it DHL as well?
Yeah, I shipped DHL.
They're usually good, but like that was like hell.
Bro, they taxed you.
What was the reasoning behind it? Like,
I listed it as a gift on the customs form. It was not merchandise because there wasn't an invoice. So the sale price was like, I just listed as $5 valuation that he didn't pay for. And then he was like, bro, what the fuck? They're charging me like $50 to accept this. And I'm like, dude,
where is it?
I got a first class ticket on a nice plane or something over there. That's crazy.
Had a nice line on.
Well, that's the other thing
it's
too.
Like it's based on the origin country, not the value and quantity of its purpose. I'm like, I've received at least 30 packages from US like this past year, and I've never been charged this much. And they're like, oh, tariff, tax, border. We had to cross like some war zone with landmines or something. I don't know. They had some reasoning. I paid.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's been a few things where I've been like heavily stung on, and I'm like, what? Like I've told my like when I've done streams in the past, there was one product that I got, not keyboard related. It was from the US too. I think it cost around $300. Came in, it got stuck in customs. This is pre-COVID. Stuck in customs for at least 3 months. It finally got released. I got a notification that I had to pay something, so I got it at my door. It wasn't even like emailed to me or anything like that. And I look at this thing and it's like, you owe $330.
Oh,
and I'm like,
how heavy was it?
It was a little pair of IEMs, so a little pair of earbuds. And I'm like, why do I have to pay so much? I literally look at it, and because they couldn't get to it in time to properly inspect it or something, they charged a large fee for basically like storage. That's what I found out what that fee was. So I was paying for it to sit there for 3 months. And the kicker is they never chat, they never opened up the box to even check what was inside. Like usually you have to cut it open and then put like a "we've opened this" sticker, but they never did that.
So dumb, dude. Customs are the worst.
Dorsha says, I think FedEx has been chasing me for some imports for like 6 months. You'll never catch me alive. See, they're looking for Glarses though. They're not looking for Dave. That's the thing.
Oh my god.
No, they never opened it.
Jeez. I was gonna say before, like, if Glorious ends up making some artisans, they might just call it the Glartisan, and Glarsis has some major competition there.
The Glartisan. Are you picking up one of his desk mats?
Yeah, no, I like
the bro mat.
Yeah, my parents are like too proud of me. I need some disappointment emanating from my desk. So having glasses at the bottom right corner will sort of remind me like what a piece of shit I am. I kind of need that to like keep going. So yeah,
I'm putting my hands down. The bro mat will be the hottest desk mat of the year.
Glasses, can you plug the tweet? Because it's a pretty epic desk mat, I gotta say.
Hands down, that's gonna be the hottest desk mat.
So good
of the year.
This is actually what 2020 needs, I think, at this point.
Yeah, we need some like good news.
Like my favorite is the burgundy color.
Burgundy. Did you actually name it that?
No, that's the name. That's the name. Yeah, that's what he told me.
Is the other one purple?
I don't know.
Sort of like bright.
What's blue? Brew.
Yeah, it's the sound you just made, Maji.
Bright, white, and then bread. Oh, burgundy.
Double, I agree. They didn't. It was just like I literally didn't even accept the package. I don't even have that. Like I literally had it sent back to the people that sent it to me. It was something I paid for. It was like I think it was actually on drop, and I ended up just getting a refund for the product double. But there was no way I was paying $300. And because it was a limited time thing, they didn't have extras double. So I ended up not paying for it. The Brupple, that's a much better name.
What was your name?
Burple.
Dr. Omegalo, yeah. Someone also said, so Thomas also said, in Australia, there's literally something mandated by the government for big tech, Amazon, Apple, Google, called Australia tax. It's literally adding 30 to 40% on top of the normal USD prices. It's messed up. So glad Daily Clack isn't like that. That's crazy.
Oh, damn. Yeah, my lube has been sitting in. Okay, that came out wrong. The lube I purchased for keyboards from Daily Clack has been waiting to be shipped for 4 weeks now, and I need my lube, man. I need it. It's my sustenance.
I'd follow up if it was an in-stock unit. I'd definitely send them an email or something.
Oh, okay, I guess that's like FedEx thing though. I don't know. I didn't want to trouble Daily Clack because I thought they were like it's not their fault kind of thing.
Is it just stuck in like FedEx Transit?
Yeah, they're like we're waiting to send you your lube. I'm like thanks.
Oh yeah, good luck with that. The vendor can't do shit.
Yeah,
exactly. I know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna read that one. Sorry. Oh god, man. Yeah, I have. I mean, my family friends are very because I live in a very sort of religious sort of neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all very like religion. Yes. We're all very conservative. So when I talked about keyboards out of context, like one of my cousins came around, and then next to us was my very religious cousins, old, parents, grandparents, and all. And I'll talk about lube because they were very interested in getting into keyboards. So like, yeah, I got this lube, I got that lube, Crytalks, and they think it's some like perverted kind of lube, like flavored or something. And so they're just hearing this, and I almost got beat by my parents. Like they were telling me like, what are you talking about lube? Like, why are you talking about all this, weird stuff with your friends? I'm like, no, I had to explain the whole thing. It was mad. It was so bizarre.
Do you ever get those body goose pimples while you're like embarrassed about something? You're like, fuck, and you're like sweating. You're like, god damn it, I gotta explain this thing now. You're like,
oh god, it's the worst. Don't remind me, man. It's the horrible.
Did your parents see the box I sent you? That's what I want to know.
Oh no. They see the cardboard box, but then I bring it into my room.
Do you have the wait? I sent you the lube box, right?
Oh, it just says lube. Yeah.
I feel so bad. I never thought you'd ask where the box is.
How could you not assume I'm gonna ask you in front of a live?
I'm a good boy.
I'm a good boy.
Oh, good guy Hamaji kept the damn box.
Oh, and something else just fell.
He just eated the product out of it, but he kept the box.
He said,
oh
"Fuck
wait,
this
oh,
table."
no. I totally thought I sent you the other box. No, it's the wrong box. It's all good.
Oh, what's the other box say? Hold on.
The other box says lube in really big fonts across the top of it.
Okay, thank God. Yeah, if you sent it here, I'm dead. I'm a dead man.
Sends another one next week. Got your gift, Hamaji.
I just ship you the box with like a middle finger on the inside.
Oh my God.
You actually just send him a bunch of like lube, like as he said, the perverted lube.
Yeah, just like regular lube.
Please get it like in this like bottle. Like, just
This is a fancy bottle. What are you drinking there?
mineral water, the best water, and this is lemonade, homemade.
Ooh.
Do you use mineral water to make the lemonade?
Well, shoot, do we? We just use like tap filtered water for the lemon. No.
Disgusting.
Just kidding. Such an asshole. Also, wait, sorry, unrelated to keyboards, but is that the Overwatch font you're using, Alex, sorry, for the stream under our cameras? The name.
I don't know
It's
what
Big
font this
Noodle
is, to be
tilting,
honest.
isn't it? Right?
I think
Big
it's
Noodle
Big
tilting.
Noodle, yeah.
Yeah, Big Noodle. I remember that one.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's something
I
like
use
that.
font too.
Huh?
sorry.
I use that font too. I think it's because of Alex. Like I think I downloaded it because I like
I
downloaded
sent you
one
a
of his
file
PS.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I have like 90 Alex Soto's fonts that I use now.
By the way, just wanted to quickly show chat something.
Ooh.
So, you guys are wondering what we're doing after the stream. We're gonna be building the FMJ, and I just want to show you the PCB for the SMJ. Oh, this is upside down. The FMJ.
Do your best to
Damn.
explain what that is, Alex, to the
It's
people.
a dragon.
Wait,
Is
you're
it-
building that today without a cable?
I got this crappy one attached that I soldered in. I'm gonna just desolder it when you send me the new one. I have to deal with a crappy one.
Damn.
Either that or I build an NK65.
Do that, and I'll have it to you on Wednesday.
No, I want to build
Now
this.
do whatever you want. Dude.
So with that being said, what keyboards out of the ones that you built so far, Hamaji, is your favorite, and what's your favorite switches so far? I know, the most generic question ever, but I figured
Oh man.
everyone likes hearing about that. And if you guys have questions for Hamaji as well, please leave them in the chat. If you guys just have general questions, please leave them in the chat.
Oh man. Favorite board I built. There's so many I have to build. God, I feel so bad to all the people that send me keyboards. Like, they have to wait so long. I mean, truthfully, my knowledge is still so tiny. So I mean, my favorite is probably my KVD 75 V2. It's like a pretty nice one. I'm gonna make a video of like
Ooh.
upgrading it. Yeah. GMK 1008. It's in the grand scheme of things, it's simple. So I cannot wait for the Rama Works and SAT 75. So yeah, probably my favorite build. This is my second favorite though, because it's my second keyboard.
Nice keycap
Not
set
many
too.
keyboards, yeah. Thank you.
Which one do you
Um,
use daily?
I swap between the two. I don't tell many people I do that because I feel so pretentious saying that. Like no, like, oh, hold on, wait, I need to get this straight, because a lot of my friends aren't into keyboards. When I say I got 2 premium keyboards, they're like, wow, flex. So to the friends, I just say I just use one, and the other one I just keep, but I just swap between whatever I'm feeling. So swap.
I mean, I think it's okay to say that you use 2 keyboards. I mean, if you've got 2 on your desk, I mean, you might as well swap them out and use them both. That way, you don't have one just sitting there not getting any use.
100%. 100%. But it's just because my friends, I've never been the type to like flex or like talk about things I own. I'm not very comfortable with that as a person. So I'm very like quiet about the things I own, except when I make like YouTube videos on it, or if people ask, then I'll say, yeah, I own this and that. But I find it really difficult to personally like say I own this, I own that. Yeah, I'm not that great.
And your favorite switches?
Oh
so
yeah,
far?
sorry. I'm a big simp for TTS V2s. I really like those. I don't know why. They just have this nice buttery smoothness to them.
You said
And-
Telios? Is that what you said?
Yes. Is that
Okay.
bad?
Oh no,
not at all.
I was just making sure you
cut off. Yeah, it cut off a little bit. That was so. Alex convinced me to buy those for my first high-end build for my Rama. So I just desoldered them out of my Rama like last week, and no, the Telios are good. They're definitely.
I think the fun part about this hobby is a lot of stuff is preference. Like I've seen people tell me that I generally not like Switch is their favorite Switch, and it's like good. I mean, as long as you found something that you like, I mean, who's anyone to judge? The only judgment you're ever gonna get in this community is if you say MX Brown. Like I feel like that's the only thing really that people will be like, yeah, there's a meme behind that, you know. But again, if you genuinely like MX Brown's, like, dude, by all means, you know.
RX Chaser said Romer G's are end game.
Romer, who said that? Chaser?
Is that your first Twitch ban of the day?
I love Chaser too much. I can't do it. Wave Depthster said it too.
Color you order for the Sat 75? I got white, cloud white.
Ooh, I built the cloud white one for the first round, so you're gonna like that.
You like it?
Yeah.
Do you like the white?
It goes the cool thing about any sort of white keyboard is it goes with just about every keycap set.
Yes, exactly.
Like black and white, you can pretty much match with anything. That's the really nice thing.
Oh, black set, adventurous. I like it.
Adventurous.
I can't, man. Like even though I can type without looking, like it's just like I don't know. I like the little legends. I don't know.
Honestly, like I got the, you can kind of see it in the top down feed. I got the Constellation in all black with the all red keycaps. That's I really dig this keyboard.
God. Deep Ocean Blue, but you can only like pair it up with, like Modern Dolce or like Mizu, right? That's why I'm so scared to go like on that big kind of board, an adventurous color, because what if I can't fit it? You know,
that's the nice thing about going all white is you can literally fit just about everything. Yeah, you can even literally just make it super minimal, like Chase did with, you know, a black keycap set or even a white keycap set. But yeah, that's gonna be super nice. You're gonna really enjoy that.
Deep Ocean Blue would also look good with like a black on white keycap set. Just plain black on white keycaps on the Deep Ocean Blue would look really good.
What about Nautilus? Do you think Nautilus will work? Is that like
100%? No, I think Nautilus look great. Yeah, because I have Nautilus. It's on a blue keyboard right now, but I was actually going to be moving Nautilus into my M65B, which I also got in all white. Because Nautilus is my very first GMK set, and I think Nautilus would look. Yeah. Nautilus is my very first GMK set, and I want to move that.
Have it on M60?
Yeah, I still have it on my M60.
Such a nice combination there.
Oh, it's literally perfect. It's literally the perfect combination. Like that lake blue M60.
That is a big compliment. That's a big compliment for you to say that on keyboard. It's goddamn amazing.
Yeah, it's a really nice set. But what board are you guys talking about? We were talking about the Sat 75. We're talking about some other boards too. Jealous of Nautilus? Nautilus is Zambu did some really nice stuff.
Oh my god, Zambumon. Yo, I followed his Insta. So good.
He has some cool new stuff coming out too that looks like he's been teasing in his stories too.
The SAR?
Oof. Your guys' Instagram game is so strong. I feel so tiny. It's so nice. I love all your photos. It's just the best thing to come up in my feed, honestly. It's so pleasing.
Oh man, that's Alex.
Yeah,
thanks guys.
It's so good.
Hamaji had an exciting Twitter follow recently. That's what Music said. What was Twitter? What was your exciting Twitter follow?
What do you mean?
Music said it in chat.
What music? Huh?
Music Gus.
Oh, I think it was. If it was recently, he must have meant a few weeks or months ago when my keyboard content was sort of growing. I think I uploaded it was one of the videos, and then like I've always looked up to Teja. I mean, I still do. And you know, back when I was like technically a no one in the keyboard community, like he followed me on Twitter. I was at dinner at like not like a fancy restaurant, but like it was meant to be quiet, you know, it's that sort of like ambiance and like with the family. I jumped. I didn't care, dude. I was like, Yeah, I was telling my brother who knew, and we were both jumping. Oh my god! Oh
Were you like, Mom, look?
Yeah. Are you showing me? And I was like, oh my god, he followed
like,
me. And I was like, should I DM him? And I was like, no, it's too early in our relationship. I was like, I was freaking out, dude. I couldn't sit still for a while. I was like, oh my god. Yeah, and then it was mental. That was is that what you're talking about? I went off topic. I'm sorry.
Maybe. I'm not too sure. Honestly, like a lot of the times I'll have someone like that I look up to follow me or something like that. And because of how the notifications work, especially on Instagram, it gets lost like really quickly.
Yes.
So the only way I'll know is if I'm lurking their profile and then I see that they're following me now. That's the only way I know. But
I've had that happen too, and I'm like,
you follow me? Shit.
Like Matthew McConaughey, what the fuck? No, I'm just kidding. I wish.
Man.
Honestly, it's so much fun. How much most satisfying Insta equals Artisan Labs. Artisan Labs does have a pretty fire Instagram. That also feels like a hurdle getting the key and then a cap set to work with it. I mean, yes and no. It's also very fun, I think. You know, like building your perfect board or building a board that you're like, man, I can't wait to theme this out. I think the most fun I ever had was with the Key Cult 165. I had gotten the white and red one, and then I picked, because it has the red plate, and then I got red switches topped with Crimson Cadet, which is a red keycap stat. So for me, it was just like this really cool build that everything was just so like themed very nicely. Rama also has good photos. Yes, their renders and photos are fantastic.
Oh my god,
He's great tier.
Yeah,
Rama is mad.
Did you see his new whip? Oh my gosh,
I did.
New whip?
Yes.
What?
New car.
Whoa! What?
Moving into
New car?
Believe it or not, Wave Depth, like there's so many people that you would not expect to be into keyboards that are like silently into them.
No.
Oh, no.
Go to his profile, bro.
And someone asked an interesting question too. Do you guys have personal Instagrams to go along with business Instagrams? Me personally, no. How about you guys? Without exposing your personal ones, if you guys don't want to expose them, just a yes or no.
Yeah, I
didn't hear you what you said. What did you say?
God damn it, Reagan.
I'm reading chat. I'm responding.
I said, do you have a personal Instagram to go along with your business one?
No.
How about you, Chase.gg?
Oh. I just use one Instagram account that I hardly ever post on because I'm posting on Instagram daily on other people's accounts.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh yeah, sorry. I read up. I mean, can I talk about this on stream? Like,
sure.
Because I read up about like what you you're social media manager and you manage what content people post, right?
Yeah, and I help people kind of like develop new content ideas and stuff like that for YouTube stuff, TikTok stuff, Instagram stuff, Twitch stuff too. Yeah, I mean, just I work with people on content stuff, and I also manage accounts posting for people. Yeah.
I was gonna ask, like, does it ever get to the point where, like, let's say, like you've built up a community alongside the creator, and let's say that person is the face of that community. Do you ever feel like a sense of pride, and like when he does something that isn't, or he or she does something that isn't like something that you would personally recommend them to do? Does it ever get to the point where like you get a bit too personal with their brand and it starts feeling like it's kind of yours, or do you have to really keep that professional face on?
I mean, in a sense, I mean, most of the people that I work with closely typically don't make any moves that would concern me like that, especially because they usually consult me before they do like anything on social media. Okay. But I have had people in the past that have just like specifically just kind of like fallen off the face of the earth, like stopped, like for instance, like a lot of what I do is like posting stuff from people's streams, and all of a sudden people that just decide they're not going to stream for 2 weeks, it's like, okay, well you're you're cutting off the lifeline to everything. Like not only are you not streaming, but all of a sudden there's no content for all your other socials.
Yeah,
It's like
that's true.
decisions like that, it's just like I don't know. I haven't had anybody that's like done something that impacts me personally or like makes me. I don't get attached to their pages on a personal sense, if that answers more of the question. But
Okay.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, I've never managed another person's account. It's always been mine.
Yeah,
so, like,
it's weird. I mean, most of what I do is using. When people think of an Instagram account, they typically think of like a personal, like managing a personal account of like, representing who this person is. It's more of a like managing a YouTube channel and using it as a platform for content specifically.
Yeah, it's definitely grown to that point. It's kind of insane. It's like a brand.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Pretty much.
Oh man.
It's definitely interesting though when it comes down to, I guess, the content side of things, and that's why I was genuinely like, wow, like making that transition, like bringing up our very first topic from gaming into a tech thing, which being keyboards in this case, is genuinely impressive because it's totally different audiences, and when you're looking at from capturing potential new people that might get into something like that, it's now capturing your audience that you had from Team Fortress and gaming and stuff like that into a keyboard community, which is again completely 180. And a gaming community, you buy a game, you might buy some skin,
Yeah.
The keyboard is you're physically building some of these things, and you're waiting on parts, and you're like planning out your build, and it's like a totally different world. That's why it was genuinely very, very impressive, to say the least, to see that transition made from a content creator standpoint. Because I know even with a lot of the keyboard people, if we, like, for example, if I play a game one night, there's people who watch for keyboards, there's people who watch for personality, obviously. Like, I have to be very aware of that. But if I decide I want to play a game one night, like, I have to be ready for like viewership to dip down into like the low 50s. Yeah.
Such a weird mental. It's such a game. It's such a brain game. It's awful. It's so toxic. I don't know. At least because when I would do like TF2 and I tried to do Minecraft, then I tried to jump onto Overwatch. Like, truthfully, it was like a horrible transition. So I deleted all the videos. But yeah, like when you're streaming, right? Like I can 100% relate. When you play like something else and it dips, that just feeds on your brain. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
But like it motivates you, but like quite a bit. And then you just
yeah. Like on the majority of the keyboards that I do, with the exception of like the one or two prototypes I've done in some client builds, the majority is just doing this for me, and it's just nice to have people watching and like people who want to support, the content and the actual entertainment aspect. But a lot of it is just me having my own fun, and again, people just kind of watching. But then there's other things where like, yeah, I'd love to do some content stuff and like actual entertainment stuff where it's not just the things that I enjoy. It's weird that I say actual entertainment, but alternative entertainment.
Right.
And it's like I'm still trying to figure that out, because there's other things that I enjoy, but it's not. It's like I don't enjoy it as much as like I truthfully don't enjoy gaming as much as I do building a keyboard for hours at a night.
Yeah.
Right. So there's definitely that too.
Yeah.
That's why it's very impressive that you made that switch and like obviously made it work. So congrats to that. But we are hitting our hour and a half mark. If there's any last questions you guys have for Hamaji, please leave them in chat. We usually do these things for about an hour and a half, so we're on our higher end of the time scale here. So if you guys have any last things, yeah, man, this is a blast.
So interesting.
What is your favorite keycap set? Someone asked.
Gem Keyboard Indulge. No hesitation.
No hesitation. Endgame keyboard. Obviously, Endgame is perspective, but
it does make this. The video I'm gonna make and upload soon is gonna brush on that. You guys will enjoy it. Trust me. Sat 75 Gem Keyboard Indulge. Probably. How do you style your hair? I let the water hit my face in the shower and it just sort of comes out. Favorite cable brand?
I mean, tough.
I've never had experience with any other brand, so I mean, I gotta say Space, because he's the only one. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Yay, dang. I want to do a stress test, by the way, Space. I hope you don't mind. Like,
oh, what the hell?
Send me.
That's like stress
spare
testing
cable.
like glass
And
vases.
I wanted to see how much your coil could withstand.
He's gonna wrap it around his waist, jump out the window, see if it bungees him back up in.
I was gonna do bicep curls with your cable, holding your cable coil, and then seeing if it would.
There's different ways to test cables, but I feel like that kind of.
That's the best way in space. Come on.
Bro, you're like, oh, today we're comparing like glass from this company and glass from this company. Let's just.
Today we're bungee jumping with a space cable.
Today my Toyota Tacoma is stuck in the mud, and I've got this cable and a winch.
It's gonna be interesting. Trust me.
Spoilers, guys. It'll probably snap it too. Just letting you guys know.
Definitely will get the job done and look great while you're doing it, but it's just, why do you gotta show them?
Oh.
Worst switch you've ever used?
Oh, Cherry Mix Blues. I think browns are like salvageable. Like like if you had friends over and used blues, yeah, you'd probably get beat up by your friends. But like browns, you could say, "Oh, I overlooped these switches," and they'll probably like, yeah, okay, that's fair. But blues like too distinct that it's.
I'm not a fan of the MX Blues either, to be honest. I'll be real with you there. They're just not my cup of tea.
I have like a distinctive like worst switch in my head that I've ever felt, but I'm not gonna say it because I don't feel like roasting.
Oh,
okay. Now I want to know.
No, actually, I'll just say it.
I want to know.
The blueberries.
Oh yeah, I wasn't a fan of those.
Oh my god, the scratchiest.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's people who swear by them. I know people who have DM'd me and were like, "Bro, I don't know how you don't like these, but they're just not for me. Like, they're very scratchy. I like the tactile feeling of them a lot, but they're just not for me. They're just not my switch."
I said they're kind of interesting. They're interesting, but
linear gang tactile. We like all switches here, guys. Just
all switches.
I don't speak for all of them. I speak for myself. No, I love tactiles. I love tactiles. They're really nice. Tactiles are still really good, but this is just fun. It's just fun to pick on tactile people.
Dude, I'll say it again. I lean linear, but I like some tactiles. Okay.
Yeah, I like me some tactiles.
But it is crazy the landmines in r/MK that you can set off. It is without a doubt.
Yeah, and I think that's what I'm trying to always, I guess, not push, but just remind people. And I think a lot of other people do too. It's we have to be very careful with. It's the last thing I'm going to touch upon with our opinions and preferences versus a reality. Like, the reality is everyone has opinions and preferences. Mm-hmm. So I think I think a lot of people like see their opinions and be like, no, this is the right way. These 3 other people are verifying my opinion. So it's very tough to kind of push that, I guess. But and Kayliddy, how you doing? Left Theory says, what do you guys think about the new Gatoron yellows? I think they look really, really cool. Those Gatoron yellow cap switches. Until I can get those in my hands, I'm not too sure though.
I got those.
Did you pick some up?
Yeah.
I think they look interesting. They weren't even that much money, I don't think either.
Yeah, they're cheap, so I want to see how they against. Are you hopping on the Iron 180? Dude, if I had money, sure, why the hell not? I'm kind of saving up for food.
But I think that's everything for today, guys. I'm gonna go and take a quick break after this personally. Before we get into the FMJ 80, I'm just gonna grab some food, so I'll probably leave it on Be Right Back if you guys want to bear with us. Chase, was there anything, or Space, was there anything you wanted to wrap up with for today?
I don't believe so. Just want to thank Mr. Hamaji for taking the time out of tonight and joining us a week early. We were originally supposed to have him next week, but he hopped on due to we had some scheduling issues with what was supposed to happen today, and so we really appreciate you taking time out of your I'm sure busy schedule to kind of sit down for a little bit.
He's like, I'm about to play some video games all day today. What do you mean busy?
Don't tell the audience. I'm meant to look busy. I look cool.
But thank you again, Hamaji. If you guys want to follow his socials, Reagan, did you have that link still handy by any chance? My guy.
Probably.
So follow his socials. I think you're primarily on YouTube, right? Like there's no focus right now, or like you're pushing anything for no. So primarily on YouTube. make some really cool keyboard content as well as some older gaming videos you guys can go and take a look at. Go look at his first video, the speed test between Chase. What's the character's name? Tracer.
No, don't.
Yeah, go watch that one there. Thank you guys. I'm going to put it on. Be right back. Thank you guys so much. We'll talk literally in like 10 minutes here. I'm going to take all the parts I need for the FMJ80, and then we'll start building that up. Thank you again, Hamaji. Take care, everybody. Be right back.